as Congress slowly gets more answers about the assassination attempt, the misinformation that's floating around the internet has people questioning, what should I believe? You've seen the headlines like this in your social media feed. Meta's AI tool called the assassination attempt fictional. And when the chatbot was asked about it, the response was, it's difficult to say. We tried to replicate the chat, and now it does say Donald Trump was nearly assassinated, so they did fix that. But there's also an issue with Google's autofill. That's when you start to type in a Google search and it kind of guesses what you're about to type. Well, responses about the assassination just didn't come up. In fact, we tried it, and it started talking about the attempted assassination of President Truman. Yes, Truman, not Trump. It only came up when we got very specific. So the question is, why is that happening? Let's bring in Harvey Castro. He's a tech expert and an AI futurist. Dr. Castro, some people feel like the tech companies are trying to cover up this shooting. Are they wrong?
No, they just don't understand how the algorithm is working. And unfortunately, that's what it seems like. But in reality, they're not trying to cover up anything.
So what's going on with the algorithm?
Think of it this way. If I'm training you and I stop training you and say it was the day before Trump assassination happened, then that's all your memory would know. And so when you speak to the chatbot, that's exactly what's going on. It just has no memory of what's going on. The other part is that these algorithms are creating safeguards to make sure that they're not propagating false information.
Well, let's talk about specific examples. Again, like the Google autofill. The assassination attempt was a huge historic event. So why wouldn't Google show us a predictable search result for that?
That's a great question. And it has to do with, honestly, the market, in the sense that if you put the wrong information out and you propagate that information, say Google is saying the wrong thing, then you can literally change the way the market is going. And they did it as a safeguard to make sure that this doesn't happen. And now they had to put a human in the loop to make sure that they programmed it to now say these things.
Law enforcement says that this was an attempted assassination, but Meta's chatbot says it's difficult to say if Trump was ever almost assassinated. So why doesn't Meta's AI chat just confirm what we know to be true?
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's the same thing. They trained the model to say certain things, but
haven't they had time to fix the model?
They definitely have, and I think that's why you show that demo that now it's showing it.
You know, here's the thing. We used to use encyclopedias, right? And now we just Google things. And people fear that the algorithms that dictate the search results are maybe being manipulated. And it seems we've given a lot of these tech companies a lot of power.
I 100% agree with you. There could be a bias from a human being that's programming it. Mm-hmm. And if they think a certain way and they put it in the model, then that's what you and I will receive. And that's why it's so important to know that this science is just a new science. It's not where it should be yet.
Dr. Harvey Castro, thank you for that. We reached out to Meta for a statement, and they responded by telling us AI chatbots aren't always reliable, and they're working on the issue. We also reached out to Google, and they said the search engine has protections related to political violence, and once the issue was flagged, they worked to improve it.